Hey everyone, Bill here with some more TV Photog tips. Today let's talk about seamless B-roll audio. So what we're talking about here is the under NAT, under our B-roll in our packages. A lot of times when we're young photojournalists or videographers, I'm just as guilty of this as anyone else, we seem to think that that background audio doesn't matter in the final product. So we might delete it out, or we just kind of leave it there underneath and you can kind of hear it. When I do critiques, I'll have to tell particularly younger journalists that I can hear your edits. And what I mean by that is on every B-roll shot, I can hear the audio change. So let's try to take a look at this and how to fix that. Before I go any further, I'm going to throw up an ethics warning on this. I know a lot of my followers work in news, so I don't want them to think that they can use this in any situation. In this example I'm going to show is just going to be some room ambient noise where it does not affect the story. Someplace where this would be unethical in my mind is if I'm doing a story about some neighbor complaining about loud barking over at some facility nearby. I'm not going to use gnats underneath of all this barking at this person's house, who the entire time we're there we can't hear a single dog bark. So to me that's an unethical time that I'm going to use it, so I'm not going to use it in that situation. This is kind of something that's more used in production and again in rooms or types of stories where the background sound does not affect the story itself. That being said, this might be one of my most controversial videos I'm going to do, at least when it pertains to ethics and news. If you have any questions about when you could or could not do that, that's for internal discussion amongst your news director or other manager on duty. So let's move forward. Okay, here we go. So this is my setup right now on my timeline. I just threw in some dummy track and I shot a couple shots of my dehumidifier in my basement, which makes noise. So the thing here is, each of my shots, the audio is going to change depending on how close or far away I get from my dehumidifier. I'm just using this as an example for ambient sound in a room. I'm going to just talk about my dehumidifier here and how wonderful it is. It is a little bit on the loud side, but it still does seem to do the trick. Isn't it beautiful? I inherited from the previous owner who left it here when I purchased my house 12 years ago. So that's kind of how it sounds right now. I left my under audio up a little bit so that you can hear the difference what I'm talking about now. I normally wouldn't have my under audio that high, but you can hear on every shot the audio changed. In case you missed it, I'm going to turn off the audio on the track and we can just listen in to the under audio only. So there you can see and hear the difference when my shots hit, because the under audio is going to change depending on how close or far away I am from the dehumidifier. A lot of people think that the way to fix this is they're just going to highlight the under audio like so, and they're going to put dissolves on it. But that's not going to fix our problem. I can still hear the audio change on that. You just have a dissolve to it. Again, that's not perfect. That's a lot of times what people think is a quick fix. Let's take it a step further. In production, a lot of times what we might do is we might take room tone and we'll record for 30 seconds, a minute, whatever the case is, of just the room being quiet and get that natural sound in there. And then what we'll do is we'll take that long clip and we'll put it at the in and the out and we'll cut it and put it underneath the timeline. We don't always have time to do that, particularly in news. One thing that I'm going to do here, this is what I'll do, is I'll take one sound bite, or one part of the B-roll, and I'll show you. I'm going to put this down on another line just so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. And this clip, I record for 10 seconds a shot, and I'm going to take this, I'm going to pull it over here, and then I'm going to pull it under my other audio here. I'm going to mute the under audio here, so now you can hear it's going to be consistent throughout the entire clip. I mean, showing that to you, now you can see where the whole ethical dilemma can pop up in a newsroom. Again, I only use this if it's going to be ambient sound inside of like a room or someplace where it doesn't affect the story. But it's seamless now. How long did it take me to do that? Just a couple seconds. So you can do that really quickly in the edit bay. Here's how it's going to sound now when I turn the track back on. I'm going to just talk about my dehumidifier here and how wonderful it is. It is a little bit on the loud side, but it still does seem to do the trick. Isn't it beautiful? I inherited from the previous owner who left it here when I purchased my house 12 years ago. Granted, my under audio is a little high right now, and I'll fix that. All I need to do is just drop that to a reasonable level so that it doesn't override my track or my sound bite. And one thing I definitely want to remember to do is mute, remove, delete, whatever the case is, whatever your preference is, to get rid of the unwanted undernat so that that still does not affect or play out of our video. So now I'm basically done with that. I might still play with it a little bit because the nat sound might be a little too high or low, and play with the dissolves depending on my track or sound bites on either end. But that really only takes you a couple extra seconds, and I have seamless audio, and it sounds a lot more professional and clean than having to change on every shot, which can be a pet peeve of mine real quick. So there you go. I want to thank you for joining me. I'm Bill. You've been watching TVPhotogTips. Please do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe so I know you're out there. You can leave a comment down below, send me a tweet. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Good luck and have fun. Our B-rolls audio. Hey everyone, Bill here with some more. How am I trying to say this? I'm going to use this audio on the under audio or track on the front or but. I keep saying but. Say but a lot.